Respected sir, good evening. Today I invite you to the journey with me, the timeless Indian epic, the Mahabharata. The scattered text is more just a narrative, it's a professional explanation of the human nature, philosophy, and the search of the essence of the life. The epic is a complex way of divine threads and representing key aspects of the human condition love, sacrifice, destiny, and moral wisdom. It brings forth the eternal conflict between the good, evil, and the good and the bad gliding us through the different dilemmas and the decisions that shapes our life. Among them, the many captivative stories within the vast epic, one stands that out that King Santanu and the goddess Ganga. The narrative that states the most reversed figures in the Indian mythology, Bhishma. The story is not only provides the insight of the lineage, the Kuru dynasty, but also lives the themes of the duty, fate, and the great sacrifice made by the individuals for the greater good. As we noted, we'll see how these profound lessons each across the generations and remain relevant in our day-to-day story. King Shantanu meets Ganga. King Shantanu, the noble ruler of the Kuru dynasty, was known for his wisdom, strength, and compassion. Yet, he found himself drawn into an extraordinary encounter that would change his life forever. One day, while wandering along the banks of the river Ganga, he came across a woman of divine beauty, grace, and tranquility. She stood like a celestial being, her presence radiating peace and serenity, causing the king to fall in love with her first sight. But this woman was not an ordinary mortal. She was none other than Ganga, the celestial river goddess, who had taken human form for fulfill a divine purpose. Her beauty was eternal, and her aura was most captivating and mysterious. This little did Shantanu know this meeting would set him the motion and the serious events that would impact the very course of his kingdom and his legacy. The mysterious condition. King Shantanu, overwhelmed by Ganga's beauty and purity, approached her and asked in hand in marriage. Without hesitation, she agreed, but under one particular condition. She never questions her actions. He should never question her action, inquire about her past, or show any anger towards it. If he ever did, she would leave him, never to return. The condition to his tronage was something the king could resist. A deep love for Ganga. He accepted the second thought, convinced his love her overcome by the challenge that may arise. The pact was made that by the Ganga being seemingly perfect life together. However, did Chandan know the agreement was soon tested in the way that she could never challenge Ganga's shocking actions. At first, the king life Shantanu and Ganga made miserable. The love blossomed, and Ganga bore him children. But each child were born, her heart tragic as Ganga questioned would never want and born to the river. While she would turn her children without a word, without passing tragedy, King Shantanu heart broke, yet kept his vow. He did not ask any question nor express any grief or promise to her and question her actions. He watched silently and anguished and were taken away from him. The vow was broken. But this when the Ganga after bearing seventh child, he attempted to drown the eighth. The king couldn't bear it. The pain of losing another child combined with agony and silently enduring this tragedy. The child, by questioning him, Shantanu unwillingly broke the scattered vow he made. It's just a pivotal moment that the truth behind Ganga's action was finally revealed, shattering the silence and opening a new chapter in the story. Ganga's revelation. With a heavy heart, Ganga revealed her intent identity to Shantanu. She explained that he was not merely a mortal woman, but the celestial goddess on the river, and her actions were part of the curse. Ganga had agreed to middle heavens after birth. He had been carrying out a divine task, guided by her purpose and bounded by her promise and the gods. However, did Shantanu breach his vow? Ganga had to leave him. She promised to raise their last son, a child of extraordinary destiny, and returning him to Shantanu at the correct opportunity. The birth of Bhishma. Years passed. Shantanu lived as a solitude, burdened by the weight of his choices. One day, as he gazed upon the river, he saw a young boy performing a divine act, constructing a dam of arrow block, powerful flow of Ganga. Amazed by the boy's strength and skill, Shantanu approached him. To his astonishment, Ganga appeared and introduced Devarata, their son. She raised him to trained him with the philosophy, the martial arts, preparing for challenge of the Devrata, has been destined for the greatness. Ganga had nurtured him a man of wisdom and integrity. The boy later became one of the greatest warriors and the sages of the Guru dynasty, the figure whose name would echo throughout the halls of the history. Devrata becomes Bhishma. Devrata, as known as Bhishma, were groomed a legendary figure, one of the unparalleled strength, wisdom, courage. His vow of lifelong celibacy, known as the Bhishma Partyaga, was an act of supreme self-sacrifice undertaken to ensure the welfare of his kingdom. Bhishma decided to himself to completely to be a throne, forsaking his personal desires and for the good of the kingdom and its people. His name, Bhishma, becomes the synonyms for one who took the unbreakable vow, someone who upheld his verb without resolve, a man of principles, a true embodiment of duty, and his presence in Mahabharata left an incredible mark on the destiny of the Kuru's family. 9. The story of this lesson from the story. The story is more than a mythological tale. It's not just a lesson, profound values that create human life. It teaches about the power of love, the importance of promise, and the consequences of our actions. Ganga's love for her children, despite their seemingly cruel actions, and the divine compassion aimed at freeing them from the curse. Santanu's steadfastness in honoring his vow, even after facing overwhelming pain, reflects the depth of his character. Bhishma, commitment to the duty and sacrifice, revealing the true meaning of the devotion, honor, and loyalty. Ultimately, the story encourages us to reflect lives in the vows we took, whether we take our loved ones, our community, or ourselves. It reminds us our actions have lasting consequences and hard the dharma, the right is duty, and the great personal sacrifice. Conclusion and reflection. The Mahabharata, through tales like mirror the complexity of the life, just as Ganga, her divine purpose, Bhishma bore his destiny with courage. We must to face our challenges with strength, wisdom, and unwavering resolve. In a world filled where decisions often come with profound consequences, story like often, but just guidance, hope, timeless. The reminders, despite the trials we may face, this is always a higher purpose to our journey and the duty to navigate with honor and integrity. As we look the past, we might find the lesson will guide us toward the better resolve. Thank you.